warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. How are you today? So we are now in Sisa Hartaku Museum, and this is one of the dark tourism in Yogyakarta.
So before we explore this museum, we will introduce our team first.
Hello, my name Alim Mawaddah, and then
My name is Alvina.
And my name is Amanda.
And my name is Agil. So, let's start our explore in the Sisa Hartaku Museum.
We still have a few memories of the volcanic eruption on November 5, 2010. A volcanic eruption that melts through Sleman territory to Yogyakarta. The volcano fires up a molten lava that appears almost at the same time as a hot cloud at the 12 and 40 minutes afternoon. This incident caused much grief to Yogyakarta and Indonesia. The disaster left approximately 200 dead and 800 injured. Eruption of volcanic ash simmering consumed everything without a crash. Many humans were trapped and died on the spot. Many cattle, goat, buffalo, and others are dying of hot ash and toxic gas. The homes, fields, and paddies of the people were all covered with very thick ash. Many objects and furniture were melted from the hot ash. Of the vast resources left over by this disaster, all these museums are built by locals. The museum is called Sisa Hartaku Museum. This museum contains photographs of the events that occurred at the time of the explosion, plus household items are the ones that have been hit. Fossils of domestic animals have also died from volcanic eruption. This object bears silent witness to how destructive a volcanic eruption is. This museum has so much luggage, such as melted television or computer. There are also rusty, grimy duckling motorcycles covered with traces of red dust. By the time we enter this museum, we will be greeted by some dead cow corpses. There is also the residue of a faulty drill, lots of bottle kitchenware that burn because volcano ash. From this museum, we can feel the pain that struck Yogyakarta 11 years ago, the sadness that comes to the sight of melted objects in a volcanic eruption. To pay a visit to Sisa Hartaku Museum is free of charge. It is just that if we give it away, we can put our money in the donation box.
The mini museum of Sisa Hartaku is a museum that was built to commemorate the eruption of Merapi, which scours all the treasure around it. Tourists visit the museum, they can see first-hand photos of even the Merapi erupted. If household item left by residents affected by the disaster, fossil of dead livestock, and other objects that were silent witness of the eruption of Merapi. Indirectly, tourists who visit the Sisa Hartaku Museum can also see firsthand what happened to the victim, what they saw the remaining treasure that were still there due to the Merapi eruption. At the Sisa Hartaku Museum, supporting facilities are provided to bring in tourists such as food stalls, toilets, merch place, and various photo spots. However, the supporting facilities at the Sisa Hartaku Museum are not yet complete and their quality still needs to be improved.
Next, accessibility. The location of the Sisa Hartaku Museum is in Dusun Kebuharjo, Cangkriman, Sleman, Yogyakarta Special Region, and close to other famous places. The road to the museum is paved and the road is easy to find. Unfortunately, there is no public transportation to get this museum. If you want to visit the Sisa Hartaku Museum, tourists can use private vehicle or use Yogyakarta rental service.
and the next, review the Sisa Hartaku Museum. The eruption
that occurred at Mount Merapi is indeed one proof of the awesomeness of the event that occurred at the time. The incident resulted in a number of villages on the south side of the slope of Mount Merapi being destroyed by hot clouds. To see how terrible the eruption was at the time, we can visit the Sisa Hartaku Museum, which is still in the area of Mount Merapi. In this place, there are a lot of memories or belonging to residents that can still be saved. The arrangement of the room is simple but nice and neat, giving a distinct impression for visitors who come. Many visitors feel the atmosphere at the time of event in the past. It's true, the atmosphere here is strong because of what happened at the time, but with the addition of educational tours that are present, it makes a special experience when visiting Sisa Hartaku Museum. Why is it called an educational tour? Because there are various relics from their homes such as skeletons, motorbike, chairs, even animal bones, so that we as visitors know how great the impact of the event a few years ago was. The area around the museum is well cared for, so that it makes us comfortable and enjoy the tourist attractions that are here. If you get a more detailed story, it would be nice to visit here using a guide who already understands the story behind this. It's not just visualization that attracts visitors to this museum. The very affordable ticket price is one of the reasons to visit here. However, the visitor bathroom, which is still inadequate, is a problem for visitors. There is nothing wrong with having to collect a small fee in order to be able to update existing buildings and provide good and proper visitor facilities. So many reviews that I and my group can give. If there are mistakes, please forgive me. For those who want to feel how the atmosphere and what is in the Sisa Hartaku Museum, you can visit here just by spending money that is not in the job charge for the payment. It is worth it to come to visit.
There are some tips and tricks that we can use so that we visiting the Sisa Hartaku Museum is more fun. There is the first, learn an overview of the museum that will be visited. It will make us have an expectation before we visiting the museum, and when we visit the museum, our expectation will be answered according to what there we get in the museum. Second, invite your special person to visit the museum together. By inviting special people such as friend, family or other will give a special impression when we visit the museum. The third, rent a jeep transportation accommodation to visit Sisa Hartaku Museum. When we visit the slope of Mount Merapi, where is the Sisa Hartaku Museum is there, the jeep is favorite transportation provided by the manager, so that tourists can be different adrenaline sensation. And the last one comes at a certain moment. When we visit the Sisa Hartaku Museum, there is a certain festival or moment that are only held once a year. When we come at a certain moments, such as the moment to commemorate the Merapi tragedy, it will add the impression of excess for tourists.
At the Museum Sisa Hartaku, there are various activities that can do it and don't do it. What can we do when we visit Sisa Hartaku Museum is: the first, take photo non-flash only in the galleries unless otherwise indicated. Second, asking plenty of the question to local guide if you are so in silent. The third, bring children to introduce and educate them about the museum, but please be sure that they are very supervised. Fourth, do stay mods and be quiet. 5. Buy some souvenir in the Merapi souvenir store. In this place, you can buy some souvenir like Merapi local coffee or other things. And then there are also something you shouldn't do when you visiting Sisa Hartaku Museum, including the first, don't touch the item in the museum, don't say bad word or say disrespectful words, don't bring some food or drink into the museum. Fourth, no vandalism. 5. Don't eating some food or drink into the museum. 6. Don't running inside the museum. 7. Don't smoking inside the museum. And the last one, don't talk too louder.
The Sisa Hartaku Museum is a must-visit place for tourists who want to see firsthand how sad the eruption that occurred 2010 was. By visiting this museum, tourists can feel the various emotions felt by the victim at the time. Indirectly, after visiting the rest of my treasure museum, tourists are invited to reflect that life in the world is only for a moment and all possession can just disappear.
There is our video at the Sisa Hartaku Museum. Thank you for watching.
Hope you enjoy our video.
See you in the next trip.
Thank you, stay safe and stay healthy. Goodbye.